Hello everyone. This video lecture will discuss about hydrogen and its compounds. So we'll discuss hydrogen and its properties and some of these important compounds. So starting with this, we are starting with hydrogen. So the topic will be hydrogen. Now this hydrogen is the first element or the simplest element which is present in the periodic table. Now let's start with this hydrogen. Symbol for this element hydrogen, symbol is capital H. Now this is the simplest atom which has got only one electron and one proton, and nucleus does not possess any neutron. Atomic number, that is Z, equals to 1. That means number of electron is equals to number of protons is equals to 1 and number of neutrons is 0. So the simplest element, that is hydrogen, contains one electron, one proton and no neutrons. This is hydrogen. Its electronic configuration is 1s1. So we have one electron in the first shell s orbital. So 1s1, this is the electronic configuration of this hydrogen atom, having one electron and no neutrons in it. Now this hydrogen, in elemental state, it exists in the form of dihydrogen. This hydrogen has got isotopic forms. Isotopes of this hydrogen. Hydrogen has got three isotopes, and the three isotopes, one is known as H11. This is known as protium. Number of protons is 1, number of electron is 1, number of neutron is 0. Then we have another, that is H1, mass number 2, or simply written as D, deuterium. Deuterium or heavy hydrogen, Nt, heavy hydrogen. Atomic number is as it is 1, number of electron is 1, but we have one proton, neutron. So isotope means having same atomic number but different mass number. Mass number is 1 in case of protium, in case of deuterium mass number is 2. So number of neutrons is 1, number of proton is 1 in case of the heavy isotope, that is known as deuterium. The third isotope is hydrogen, atomic number 1, mass number 3, which is also written as T, capital T, that is known as tritium. Now this tritium, atomic number is 1, number of electron is 1, but we have 2 neutrons. So now look at this, these three isotopes of hydrogen, the difference is the number of neutrons. If there is no neutron, we say this is protium. Then we have deuterium, 1 neutron. Then we have tritium, 2 neutron. This tritium, the one with mass number 3, this is radioactive, and it emits low energy beta radiation, whereas The protium and deuterium is not radioactive. Only the third isotope, that is tritium, is a radioactive, which keeps on emitting low energy beta radiation, and its half-life is 13.15 years. That means if suppose we take a 1 gram of this tritium, is 1 gram से 0.5 grams तक decompose करने के लिए how many years is required? 13.15 years is required. Or if suppose we are starting with 100 gram of this tritium, 100 gram से 50 gram तक जाने के लिए how many years is required? That is 13.15 years is required. So this is the half life of this. Now out of this case we have this tritium, which is heaviest isotope, which is radioactive, and it emits low energy beta radiation. Now out of these three isotopes of hydrogen, the percentage abundance in nature, or relative abundance in atmosphere is proton, then we have deuterium, then we have tritium. Means in nature almost 99.9% is in the form of hydrogen, that is protium, and the rest is these heavy isotopes, that is deuterium and tritium. So these are the three isotopes of hydrogen which exist in nature. Now this hydrogen containing one electron in the valency shell is very unstable. So in elemental state is against as dihydrogen, that is H2 molecule. So in elemental state, this hydrogen exists in the form of dihydrogen, means atomicity of this molecule is 2 means this is the molecular form in which this hydrogen atom exists, that is H2. Now in this H2 we have how many electrons? 2 electrons. So therefore the electronic configuration is 1s2. Now this s orbital is completely filled, so this has got the configuration of the nearest noble gas, that is helium. So because of this hydrogen is very stable gas. So this atomic hydrogen is very unstable. This requires 1 electrons to complete this duplet. So this combines with another hydrogen atom to give you this molecular hydrogen, and in nature this exists as this diatomic form. Or in molecular orbital theory is electronic configuration be sigma 1 s2. Now look at this, the molecular orbital theory says electronic configuration is sigma 1 s2. Therefore the bond order present between these hydrogen and hydrogen, that is half into number of electrons in bonding minus number of electrons in anti-bonding. So therefore this is 2 by 2, so we have 1 bond. So the bond present in this hydrogen is sigma bond. Now this sigma bond is formed by sharing of electrons from each hydrogen. So look at this, we have one hydrogen, suppose this is hydrogen, this contains 1 electron in the valency shell. There is another hydrogen which contains 1 electron. Now this gives you 1 electron here, and this gives you another electron, and when this combines to give you a pair of electron is being shared between these two hydrogen atom. After this sharing, this electron is a property of both the hydrogen, so each hydrogen acquires duplet configuration, and this is what they call as hydrogen sigma bond. So this sigma bond is formed by overlapping of 1s orbital of hydrogen with 1s orbital of the second hydrogen. So overlapping between this 1s orbital of one hydrogen with 1s orbital of another hydrogen gives rise to this sigma bond. So this is the molecular structure of this dihydrogen. Now this dihydrogen, elemental state, this exists in the form of H2. Now this hydrogen sigma bond is one of the strongest of the sigma bonds, single bonds present in any covalent molecule. Because of this hydrogen molecule is inert or the reactivity is low. The reason for the less inertness or less reactivity of this hydrogen is due to this hydrogen bond being very strong sigma bond. Now this dihydrogen exists in two forms, that is allotropic forms, of dihydrogen. This dihydrogen shows two different allotropic forms. These two forms are orthohydrogen, orthoform and paraform. So these dihydrogen exists in two allotropic form. One is known as orthohydrogen, the other one is known as parahydrogen. Now these two forms of molecular hydrogen is based on the nuclear spin. These two is based on nuclear spin of the nucleus. Similar to electron, nucleus also spins based on the spin of nucleus of these two hydrogen present molecular hydrogen. This hydrogen can be of two types, that is ortho and para. In ortho, nuclear spins are in the same direction, either they are in clockwise or both are in anti-clockwise. So now look at this. We have liquid hydrogen. Suppose we have this hydrogen. This is hydrogen. Now we have a nucleus here. This is also nucleus. Now this nuclear spin, both are in either clockwise direction or both are in anti-clockwise direction. Now look at this is a nuclear spin. Now look at it. This is clockwise, this is also clockwise. So both the nucleus are in the same direction. Or we can have hydrogen. We have a nucleus here, we have a nucleus. Either both are in anti-clockwise direction. So nuclear spin, this is not the spin of electron but the nuclear spin. So both are in clockwise direction, both are in anti-clockwise direction. So both the spins are in the same direction. Then we say this is orthohydrogen. But if the spin of nucleus are in opposite direction, then this is classified as parahydrogen. So nuclear spins are in opposite direction. So we have looked at this. This is nucleus. If suppose one is clockwise, the other one is anti-clockwise. Suppose this is clockwise, then the second one is anti-clockwise. Or we can say if the first one is anti-clockwise, then the second one is clockwise. So if both the spins are in the same direction, is nuclear spin, not the spin of electron, then we say this is orthohydrogen. If they are in opposite direction, this is known as para. In ground state, normal state, these hydrogen exists in the form of ortho. Then that means majority of these hydrogen exists in the form of ortho. So orthohydrogen, ortho form is more stable than para form. So that means at room temperature, hydrogen, molecular hydrogen exists in the form of ortho form, then in the form of para. So this is how this elemental hydrogen, that is dihydrogen, exists in nature. We have ortho form and para form. So this allotrope is two different forms of this molecular hydrogen. So these different forms of molecular hydrogen is based on the nuclear spin. This we have the position of hydrogen in periodic table. Now this hydrogen, some of the properties of hydrogen resembles alkali metals, that is group bond metals. lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. Some of the properties of hydrogen resembles the 17th group element, that is halogens. So considering the properties of hydrogen similar to that of आपके पास halogens, we can say that this hydrogen should be placed along with this halogens. Some of the properties of hydrogen matches with that of alkali metal. So considering those properties of hydrogen which show similarity with alkali metal, this hydrogen should be placed in the group 1. So now look at this hydrogen does not have unique place in the periodic table. Because of this hydrogen is sometimes known as rogue element. So the reason is we cannot place this hydrogen exclusively with alkali metal nor with halogens. There must be a separate place for this hydrogen. Okay, let's see the properties which resembles with alkali metals and properties which resembles with halogens. So we have look at this. Resemblance with alkali metal. Either we have a resemblance with halogens. As I told you, some of the properties is matches with that of halogens, some of the properties matches with that of halogens. The first electronic configuration. Now electronic configuration of this hydrogen containing one electron, this is 1s1. We have one electron in the s orbital. Whereas alkali metals, we can take this lithium. Alkali metals, we have looked at this lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. These are alkali metals. These alkali metals has got electronic configuration of Ns1. So these also contains one electrons in the valency cells. Now in terms of the electron present in the valency cell, both these hydrogen alkali metals contains one electron in the valency cell. So based on this, these two are said to be having similarities in properties. Now coming to this halogens, we said the electronic configuration of hydrogen is 1s1. So hydrogen electronic configuration is we have one electron in valency cell. So this requires one electrons to complete its octet so that this acquires the configuration of nearest noble gas, that is helium. Similarly, now look at this halogens. We have these halogens. So in case of halogens, we have fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. These elements has got this electronic configuration NH2 NP5. Now if you look at this also requires one electrons to complete duplet. This also requires one electrons to complete octet. So both requires one electron each to complete octet or duplet. That means to acquire noble gas configuration, both hydrogen and this halogen requires one electron. So in terms of electrons requirement, both these hydrogen and halogen should be having similarities in properties. Second is cation formation. Cation formation. Now this hydrogen containing one electron can be ionized to give you H plus ion. Similarly, this alkali metals, suppose we have this alkali metal, these alkali metals also contains one electron, so these can also ionize to give you one electron. So both this hydrogen and this alkali metal containing one electron can ionize to give you univalent positively charged species. But now look at this, the ionization energy of this metal is less, whereas the ionization energy of hydrogen is very high. Now, ionization energy of hydrogen is 1312 kilojoule per mole, whereas the ionization energy of this metal is very low. Though there is a large difference in the ionization energy of this hydrogen and the metal, due to the presence of one electron in the s orbital, this can ionize to give you cation. So in terms of formation of this cation, we can say this hydrogen shows properties similar to that of alkali metals. On the other side, hydrogen and halogens contains one electrons less than duplet or octet. So this has a tendency to form anion formation. So anion formation, now look at this hydrogen has got one electron requirement to complete duplet, that is to gain the configuration of helium. So this SS one electron, that is electron gain enthalpy, when this gives you H minus. The electron gain enthalpy value for this is minus 74 kilojoule per mole. On the other side, we have these halogens. These halogens, see, we have one electron, that is 1s1. So this will have 1s2, that is the configuration of helium, which is equals to the configuration of helium. On the other side, we have this halogen containing NH2, NP5. This also requires one electrons to complete octet. When this combines to give you X minus halide ion, the electronic configuration is NH2, NP6. This is equivalent to configuration of noble gas. So in terms of this electron gain process, both hydrogen and halogen gains an electron and is converted into hydride ion or halide ion. In both this hydride and halide, it acquires the noble gas configuration. Now the electron gain enthalpy values of this anion formation from hydrogen is minus 74, whereas the electron gain enthalpy of the halogens are very high. The reason being, this is the most electronegative atom. So in terms of electron gain enthalpies of halogens are the greatest in the period. So, but apart from this difference in electron gain enthalpy values, both has a tendency to form anion. So in terms of cation formation, this matches with the metal. In case of anion formation, this resembles with halogens. Now the third property which shows resemblance with alkali metals and halogens, that is affinity for non-metals. Affinity for non-metals. This hydrogen has got a very strong affinity for non-metals, similar to metals. Metals has got a very strong affinity for non-metals. Now look at this. Hydrogen combines with halogen. This can be Cl, this can be bromine, this can be iodine, this can be fluorine. When this gives you hydrogen halide. Similarly, alkali metals, this is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, also combines with this halogen. We can have any of these, and this gives you metal halides. So both hydrogen and metal combines with halogen to give you hydrogen halide or metal halide. Similarly, look at this. Hydrogen combines with oxygen, when this gives you H2O. Alkali metals also combines with oxygen, when this gives you metal oxide. Similarly, look at this. Hydrogen combines with sulfur, when this gives you hydrogen sulfide. Metals also combines with this sulfur to give you metal sulfide. Now look at this. So this shows that both hydrogen and metal shows a very strong affinity for non-metal. So in terms of affinity of non-metal, we can say that this hydrogen shows some of the properties similar to that of alkali metals. On the other side, affinity for metals. Now both these hydrogen and halogen shows a very strong affinity for hydrogen. Now look at this metals के साथ. Now this hydrogen combines with metal to give you metal hydride, calcium hydride, lithium hydride, etc. So this has got a very strong affinity for hydrogens. Hydrogen has got a very strong affinity for metal. Similarly, these halogens also has got a very strong affinity for metals. So sodium combines with Cl to give you sodium chloride, calcium gives you calcium chloride, lithium gives you lithium chloride. इसलिए से halogens combines with these metals to give you halides. क्लोरीन के साथ क्लोराइड, फ्लोरीन के साथ फ्लोराइड, इस तरह से. Now in terms of this we can say कि both this hydrogen and this halogen shows affinity for metals. So in terms of the affinity for these groups of elements with metals, we can say hydrogen should be having similarities in properties with that of halogens. So this is the third point. The fourth point, that is electropositive character. Electropositive character. Electropositive character. Now electropositive character means hydrogen must be in the form of H plus. Now to explain the presence of H plus, and we take some certain compounds. Now we take this HCl. Now this HCl solution, electrolysis of this HCl aqueous solution of HCl means we take this HCl aqueous solution of HCl. To this we pass electric current. Now after passing of this electric current, the reaction takes place at cathode and anode. Now when we electrolyze an aqueous solution of HCl, hydrogen gas is liberated at cathode. ये आपके पास कैथोड में बन जाता है. Plus we have Cl gas at anode. So non-cathode means we have reduction. So what is happening is this H plus ion takes up an electron, because cathode is where reduction reaction takes place. So this gives you hydrogen gas. So now reduced product is formed at the cathode, so means we have a reduction reaction. For this to undergo reduction reaction, the hydrogen in this particular form must be present in the form of H plus ion. Similarly, we take this corresponding compound of sodium or alkali metal. Now we take this melt form. That means we heat this sodium chloride at this melting point. So when the melt of this sodium chloride is electrolyzed, means we pass electric current, electrolysis, then this gives you sodium metal at cathode and Cl gas at anode. So again now look at this, sodium metal is formed at cathode. So the reaction possibilities is we have sodium plus, this sodium plus equals 1 electron and is converted into sodium. So now look at this alkali metal और this halogen के साथ जो compound है, that is sodium chloride, sodium bromide और sodium iodide. अब इसको heat किया, melt किया. In melt form we have sodium ion. Now this sodium ion reduced to give you sodium metal. So this is the reason why sodium is formed at a cathode. So similar to this, HCl aqueous solution, if electric current is passed, then hydrogen gas is liberated at cathode. So this confirms that this hydrogen is electropositive in nature. On the other hand, we compare this with halogens. Electronegative character. Now we take this. we take this sodium hydride, now melt form. We heat this sodium hydride. Now this sodium hydride को हमने क्या किया, इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस किया. Electrolysis gives you hydrogen gas at anode. Anode में we obtain hydrogen gas and sodium at cathode. Now the formation of hydrogen gas at anode means there must be oxidation reaction taking place. So now look at this, we have this H minus. Now this H minus releases electron. To process of releasing of electron, that is what we call as anodic reaction or oxidation. So anode is where oxidation reaction takes place. So by this oxidation hydrogen gas is formed. That means the other species from which hydrogen gas is to be formed, this must be in the form of hydride ion. So this hydride ion loses electron and is converted into hydrogen gas. This is at anode. Whereas at cathode we have, look at this, there is a reduction reaction. So the electron released at the anode is taken up by the cathode and this gives you a reduction. So this is at cathode. So now this proves the hydrogen in this compound is present in the form of hydride ion. That is, this is showing electronegative character. Now we take the corresponding compound of halogen. Take this compound NaCl. Again we take this melt. Now this electrolysis, we get chlorine gas at anode and sodium at cathode. Now again formation of this chlorine gas is possible because of this reaction. Cl minus oxidized to give you chlorine gas and electron is released. This electron released at this anode is taken up by sodium for this reduction at cathode. So again in terms of this formation of chlorine gas and hydrogen gas at anode, when we electrolyze the corresponding hydrides and halides, shows that these hydrogen and halogens also exist in the form of halide or hydride, and that is electronegative character. So considering this electronegative character, hydrogen shows properties similar to that of halogens. So these are the some of the properties in which hydrogen shows resemblance with halogens and hydrogen also shows resemblance with alkali metals. So because of this we say that hydrogen cannot be placed with halogens or cannot be placed with alkali metals. So there should be a separate place for this hydrogen in the periodic table. Now based on this hydrogen is sometimes known as raw element. So this is the reason why this is considered as a raw element. The reason being because this cannot have its identical place, exact place in the periodic table. Some of the properties resembles with alkali metal. Based on this, we can say that this has to be placed along with this alkali metals. Some of the properties or resemblance with halogens. Based on this, we can say that this must be placed along halogen. But neither this can be placed along halogen nor this can be placed along alkali metals. There must be a separate or distinct place for this hydrogen in the periodic table, and this is the reason why this hydrogen is known as raw element. From this resemblance with alkali metals and halogens, some of the properties of this hydrogen shows different from alkali metals as well as these halogens. So let me give you an example of properties which is different from both halogen and alkali metal. Difference from alkali and metals and halogens. There are some properties of hydrogen which shows its difference from alkali metal as well as halogen. So first property is oxides. Now look at this. This H2O, this is oxide of hydrogen. This oxide of hydrogen is neutral. That means this is neither acidic nor basic. The oxide of hydrogen is neutral. Now on the other side, take this alkali metal. Alkali metal oxides. These alkali metal oxides are strongly basic. ये बेसिक है. Now oxide of this hydrogen is neutral. Oxide of alkali metal, this is alkali metal. Alkali metal is strongly basic, whereas the oxides of non-metal, or that is halogens, take this case Cl2O7. Take this is a particular oxide of halogen chlorine. These non-metal oxides, these are acidic. That means what I mean to say is, when we take compared oxides, oxide of hydrogen, that is water, is a neutral. Oxide of alkali metal is basic, whereas oxide of non-metal, that is halogen, this is strongly acidic. So in this way, this has got difference in the property. The second one is hydrogen does not have inner shell, so there is no inner electrode, or hydrogen contains no inner shell. So if hydrogen does not contain no inner shell, means there is no inner electrons, whereas in case of alkali metals and halogens we have inner shells, and these inner shells do contain a number of electrons. So based on this, again there is some properties that shows difference from alkali metal as well as halogens. So apart from these two different, some of the properties are showing resemblance with both with this alkali metal as well as halogens.